So I view my father as the Doge Delangelo of Venice. That near blind ranking man of Venice who provided ships to the Crusaders on the Third Crusade in exchange for pillaging this Croatian coastal port and then going and sacking Constantinople. Had nothing to do with the Crusades. It was his personal financial gain. And he used his money corruptly to destroy fellow Christians. That's my dad. It's like I told Amy. I don't like the movie The Talented Mr. Ripley anymore. I used to watch that movie when I'd come home, early mid-20s, partying, and I'd fall asleep to that. But it wasn't until later that I was sober enough to watch the end and see what really happened. The guy pretended or went along with being gay in order to get to be in the in group. He sacrificed his sexuality because he was so wanting to be in the in group. That's my father. My father was a have-not and so eagerly wanted to be cool because he was a dorky dweeb in high school and he wanted to impress the asshole jocks. So much to the point that he would do that. My father would turn gay just to be part of the in-group. He would do that. That's who my father is. So that made me not like that movie anymore. I used to love that movie. But when I saw the end of it, I was like, what? You hooked up with this dude just to be part of the in-group? I didn't like that anymore. And my mother is Polly Harrington from the movie Pollyanna. That rich aunt that uses her money to control everything, even the church. Pfft, hell, that's my mom. And that's what she did. She did that so much to the point that she ran out of Lutheran churches in town. Yeah! My mom had an issue with this church and this Lutheran church and that Lutheran church and thought she couldn't, but still could have a grudge against the Missouri Senate for this reason, blah, blah, blah. She ran out of Lutheran churches because she had grudges against them all. And she was trying to use her money to control them all. But she ran out of because she's got all these issues. So she had to convert to Methodism. You know, it comes to mind, I know this woman who had an issue with this bank, an issue with that bank. This bank did these withdrawals that she didn't approve of and did her over in this. Okay. And then the same woman had an issue with this phone company for charging for this, and this company for charging that, to the point where she ran out of banks and she ran out of phone companies. Now, if you got problems with all these banks and all these phone companies, then maybe the problem isn't them, the problem is you. And that is so much the case with my mom. She had so many issues for so many dumb reasons. And the thing I have a problem with it, she never asked me. When we left Trinity Lutheran Church, there was never, hey, Carl, would you be okay if we left this church? No, that was never a question. That was never asked of me. And then when I was at Our Savior youth group, we were looking at all the graduates. My class wasn't up there because I wasn't part of that. And then when I ran into some people from Trinity, they said, "Oh, well, how are you liking it, Our Savior?" I'm like, "Well, we left Our Savior. We're an American Lutheran Church, and we're actually looking to leave there too." They're like, "What?" Yeah, because my mom has a fucking issue with everything and everybody. She's so incredibly difficult. Why? Because she has OCD, ADHD, PTSD, and she has a husband that's a big fat pussy. He doesn't have the courage to get her the help that she needs. So everybody thinks my mom is this awful person when she's not. She just has learning disabilities and a coward husband that doesn't do his part in getting her help. It doesn't work the other way around because he is socially retarded and she has amended and catered and helped him so much over the years. So she does her job as wife. He doesn't do his job as husband. That's what it comes down to. So everybody has all these negative feelings for my mother. Everybody talks about my mother. But I'm the only one that defends her and says, no, that's not the way it is. She has learning disabilities, blah, 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 blah. Nobody believes me. I had a long talk with Uncle Phil many times about it. He blamed himself. No, Uncle Phil, no, it's not your fault. It's my dad's fault. But then, that's one of the reasons why he's just still wandering around. Uncle Phil isn't at rest. No, he's not. It was really ironic. One time, one of the last few times that me and my mom had a decent conversation, we were sitting in her vehicle. She made a comment about, oh yeah, maybe Uncle Phil will be watching me, da 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 da. It was like tried to recap that scene from I don't remember what it is, with Bruce Willis, The Sixth Sense or whatever, and he sees this woman that was on a bicycle that got hit by a car right outside the window. It was kind of like that. Uncle Phil wasn't right outside, but she implied that Uncle Phil was watching, and he is. He is wandering around. He's not at rest. He blames himself for the way my mom acts. He blames himself for why my mom emotionally abuses me and my sisters. He would cry while he'd teeter and crying when he'd talk to me or any of my sisters about the emotional abuse. Because he would always blame himself. I'm like, no, it's not your fault. And the only way to prove to him that it's not his fault, it's my father's fault, would be as if she got on medicine for her learning disabilities and, of course, changed her behavior on how she treats people. That's the only way for Uncle Phil to be at rest. Is if I were to get her to take her medicine and prove myself right and him wrong, that it wasn't his lack of, but rather my father's not doing what he should because she's sick. That's the only way. That's the only way for my Uncle Phil to be at peace. He's just wandering around. That's what he's doing. It's not at rest. He's just wandering around the earth. Upset, blaming himself for the way my mother emotionally abuses me and my sisters. Blames himself. But my parents have so little respect, no respect for me. They just disregard me as a... Oh my goodness. If they only knew the truth. Only knew the truth. They weren't so close-minded. Understood what was really going on. Man, things would be so different in this family. Oh, things would be so healthy.